Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Dave Miller, President here at eMAM, and thank you for joining us today. Today is one of our short Chalkless Talks where we present some information about workflows, about the system, about the industry, everything else. And today we're going to talk a little bit about scaling with eMAM, and so options we have for different licensing models, everything else. So we'll record today's session. At the end, we can open up for Q&A and join us. We have several more Chalkless Talks coming up in the near future. We're excited about our 20th year and lots of great things going on. So with eMAM, you have the flexibility to run it wherever it makes sense to run it, which is to say for a lot of people, security or control or it work, better for cost, et cetera, but they run it all locally on premise. It can also work in the cloud, so completely in the cloud. And for many, many of our customers, it makes sense to run it as a hybrid, which is to say maybe archive is local and then sharing is in the cloud. So really wherever it makes sense to run eMAM, that's the best place to run it. And because so much of its configuration, that can change as needed. So to make it easier for people, we have a number of licensing models. So we have our eMAM Cloud, which can be a SaaS and PaaS. So it could be the PaaS is a platform as a service, so that can run hourly or with long-term discounts. SaaS is our software as a service that can also run in our cloud. So PaaS runs in your cloud. And that's monthly with term options for cheaper pricing. But because we give most people choice and because they want flexibility and they want to control a system or fits better with their purchasing cycle, most people choose one of the last two, which is to say annual subscription or perpetual license. And so we'll go over the options for both of these. They're identical, they're scalable, and you can really use either one. That makes sense. So the cloud, as I said, can be software as a service that's running in our cloud infrastructure, a monthly or term discount. And PaaS is platform as a service that can run hourly, but obviously you probably want to run long-term, but it automatically deploys. So you set it up, it runs, and it bills you for the amount of time you use it for. But I wanted to spend today mostly looking at our license and subscription modules. So we either have an annual subscription for one of these licenses, or we have an outright purchase. So whichever one you go with, you can run in the cloud, or you can run on premise, or you can run it as a hybrid, and you could purchase it or you subscribe to it. So the great news is with eMAM, you can, so to say, bite off what you want to chew right now. You can start in phases, start with a smaller system, test it to look at workflows, roll it out to people, and then add more features or reconfigure it to get bigger and better or different as your needs change. Our basic package is called eMAM Vault. So eMAM Vault, and I won't repeat myself again, but everything can run locally in the cloud, can be purchased or subscribed. And the basic workflows for eMAM Vault are storage and archive management. So whether that's an LTO or SAN or NAS or S3 or Glacier or whatever it's going to be, but this provides you with an option to look at what's in storage and to use those media that are in storage. And one of the great new advances, in addition to supporting third-party AIs, last year we came out with our own local AI running in an HP Z2 mini workstation. So with AI now, you can take hours or months or decades of content and you can manage it all and find it all. The great things about Vault is you don't have lost assets, you don't have to reshoot. You can tier your storage. So whatever you really need right now, you put in that more expensive storage, and then you can push the rest to archive, because you're always going to have a proxy. It's faster to find it and search it because it's in the system, and it really controls it so you know it's secure. It's not going to be lost on a hard drive somewhere. So that's our basic licensed system. The next step up is, in addition to those features, we're going to add publish, which is to say sharing workflows. So you can now send it out to email, you can send teasers, you can send review and approval, you can send it to streamers, you can send it to newsroom, whatever you need to do, you can do in the publish system in addition to Vault. So, and the features down at the bottom: faster review cycle, more secure sharing, not sending emails and hope you get there, and third-party systems. You can control versions, and you can consistently deliver to whatever you need to do, to platforms, to streamers, and so forth. So that adds on to the Vault publish. And the third one we have is Workgroup. So in addition to the Vault and publish workflows, we've added Workgroup. That's production asset management. So now we have a collaborative production built in, and so that can work in Adobe Cloud, Premiere, After Effects, InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator. If you're technical, you're going to use one of those tools, or you'll use DaVinci Resolve or Avid Media Composer. And if you're non-technical or you're remote, you're going to use our web interface. But those projects and those, and you can do markers and you can do subclips, you can do all of that in the web interface and interact with someone who's using a panel built into their favorite editing or design tool. So very powerful production with lots and lots of tools, and happy to show this or talk to our partners. And as you can see at the bottom, this allows faster handoffs between production roles, producers, directors, clients, editorial staff. You're not going to duplicate assets, make numerous copies, because we're going to track both the project versions and the file versions. So you don't need to store multiple copies. You can see the projects. So again, everything is with permission. So if you have access and right to see it, you can see the ongoing projects the editors are working for. Stronger accountability, so you can track better, and then faster movement from edit to approval to delivery. So throughout that process, you can start doing editing proxy, mezzanine proxy. You can do review and approval. Once it's approved, you can do a final conform. And again, this works locally, works hybrid, works in the cloud. So the original media could be in the cloud. Most people don't do it that way, but you could conform off a cloud workstation, or more likely for people with a hybrid, you're going to put the original media in a local SAN or NAS storage system. So you can share review and approval proxies and preview proxies, web proxies, everything else, perhaps in the cloud. Distributed team could be across multiple locations, departments, whatever it's going to be. And then do the final conform, remote desktop or someone in the office. Once the project is checked in and approved, you can do the final conform there. So a lot of flexibility in how you're going to use that production asset management. And finally, enterprise. So that's our scaled system, which is to say, either for a high volume production, for enterprise level security and performance, for high availability. So this is going to use multiple servers to do this. And that can give a team who needs that stronger uptime and improved disaster recovery, greater processing, and support for larger users. So this can go to tens of thousands of users. Again, you're going to need the cloud or local infrastructure to support that. But really, there's no upside limit on how many it could support. And it's going to be more resilient for distributed media teams. And here's a little overview of everything. And this is right on our website, emamsolutions.com. On the right are the two There's the PaaS, production platform as a service, and our cloud SaaS. And then here are the four that I just talked about, starting with eMAM Vault, archive and storage management, publish ads, sharing of media, workgroup ads, production asset management, creation of that media, and enterprise ads, disaster recovery, and high availability. So now I can see if there's any questions anybody had that I didn't answer. And while I do so, oops, just 1 second. Sorry, they changed the interface on me. So we'll look forward to our series of Chalkless Talks that are coming up. Hopefully you can attend those. We have one every Wednesday for the next 3 weeks, and then we'll have some more coming out. Hopefully you can see us at one of the upcoming shows. We'll have a booth at IBC. We'll be working with partners at Broadcast Asia and the SET show in Brazil. We'll be at NAB New York, and we'll be with partners at Broadcast India. And we'll also have a series of webinars and everything else. Hopefully you can attend some of those. For more information, you can hit us on emamsolutions.com. And also there we have a list of our technical partners. We have 111, I believe, and you can look at our channel partners. So if you want to get support and help in a local environment, maybe help you set up hardware, infrastructure, networking, everything else, reach out to one of our channel partners and they'd be happy to help. I think that was most of the questions. As promised, we keep these very, very short. A little bit of information, hopefully useful for you. And let us know feedback or additional things. And we're very excited about the new things that were coming out towards IBC. And we're also going to have a new announcement for the SET show. That's next month in August in Brazil. So thank you much for your time today. Let us know if you want a recording of today's session or the PowerPoint, and happy to send that to you. Thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.